Good morning, my friend. Episode number 5. Let me put that here. Okay, we'll speak about histogram. Histogram is useful when you're in the field and you cannot look, sorry, I'm stuck. You cannot look on the back to see your picture because it's too bright and it's hard to see, you're not sure. Best way to see if everything is okay. On the back of your camera you have info let's see, if you look at the picture, oh, I have one, good. Okay, let's see, I have a picture, the back of my camera, and I'm not sure about, is it good or not. I press info and I don't know if you can see it because it's far away, but I'll show you. I have a small clips that will give you more information about your histogram, but you have your picture, your histogram, and all the detail about the picture under your info. On that one, because it was a lot of white, you have a line going on the right, yes, on the right side. That is your highlight and your pure white. Okay, let's look at a clip and come back to speak about the metering, the rest of the histogram, and the bracketing. Okay, let's look at some histogram. I'll put that there for now. Okay, that's what you'll get in the back of your camera. Look at your manual and you'll see how to get it. Okay, when you're on the field and if you look in the back of your camera and you look at your histogram, if it's like this one, it's pretty good. You don't have any loss on the left side, that is your pure black, your shadow, and you don't have any loss on your right side, that is your highlight or pure white when you're getting directly on the edge of it. This part here is your shadow, and after that you're going to mid-tone and highlight. This is a pretty good histogram, and that goes with the scene, because when you look at the scene, it has a lot of mid-tone, everything is pretty average, you have some dark, but you have detail in it. You don't lose any detail. And like an histogram like this one, if you look in the back of your camera and you're shooting raw, you can be sure that when you get back home and you open that in post-processing, that all the details are there. And that's why I always shoot raw. I prefer to lose some detail in the shadow, but that's my choice. But it's acceptable to lose detail in the shadow and to lose detail in the highlight, and I'll show you some example. I'll show you another that is, you have some detail lost. See the line here? Pure black. You look at the image, yeah, you have pure black probably here, maybe there, maybe there. That doesn't change the message of your picture. It's pretty good. For me, I don't have to redo another one and change the exposure on this one. And you can see that everything is perfectly exposed. You have a spike here, and that's normal. You can see that you have your white here. You don't have any detail lost in the highlight. Make for a good picture, you have good contrast. Pretty happy with this. Okay, let's set that one. Now we're losing big time in the highlight because of the sky. And that will happen at sunrise. You can do HDR if you want. I didn't have the time to do HDR with this one. I didn't want to do HDR to start with because I really wanted to have something like you see with your own eyes. The sun was very strong, like it was just early sunrise. You couldn't see that much, and I like the contrast. But I have no detail in the sky. But the picture worked, and that's the point. You have to learn to analyze your picture. Start with looking at your histogram every time you open a picture in Photoshop, and try to analyze your peak and your valley. Okay, another one. This is another one that you have some loss of detail on the shadow. You have pure black, and that's here. I don't have any detail loss on the highlight, and it's pretty level. It's very good all the way. Last one. A lot of detail that I lost in the shadow, a lot of pure black, and that's normal because this picture, and I'll show you how to do that when we'll speak about the selfie and how to do different kind of selfie. Can be more than one classes on this, but like you can see that it's intended to be dark, drama, and if it's pure black, that's okay. it goes with the picture. But if you are not sure, if you do something like this or something like this and you want to make sure that you have all the detail, just do bracketing. That's our next subject. And if you do bracketing, you'll have one underexposed, one overexposed, and one perfectly exposed. And you can stack your picture and get the detail that way. Okay, let's go to the bracketing. Back from the clips. If you have any question about histogram, just let me know. I use it most of the time when I cannot see if it's too bright outside, but I'll show you what I use normally when it's too bright outside. And then, like, I know that my exposure normally is pretty good, and I have those loop. Those are practical. This one slip inside of the. I have an attachment to attach it, and I use it for video. But if you take a picture and it's very bright outside and you cannot see the back of your camera, with this you can see very accurate and you don't have the problem with the sun. And if you want to look at better, you open it in the back. It's very practical. It's quite expensive for a piece of plastic, but it's practical if you want to look at the back of your camera in bright sun. And I use it for video. Okay, bracketing. Let me take that out of there. Normally, if you put your camera on, even on aperture priority, your bracketing, when you look at the back of your camera, you can see your scale. And to bracket, you have to bring to this section in the back of your camera on the scale. And you can, after that, just using, and you will have to look at your manual because I don't know every camera. I'm used to Canon, but I guess it's probably similar. I have a 5 bracket because I can do HDR with it. This one go to, I think, 7 or 9, but most camera will go to 3 bracketing. You take just 3 shots, 1 stop under, perfect, and 1 stop over. That will give you a good range, and that's the dynamic range. That will get more, if you're under, you'll get more detail in your highlight. And when you're over 1 stop, you'll get more detail in your shadow. And that way you can use a program to process it as a HDR. You can use Photoshop and stack the image and just pick what you want in it. Or you can just choose the better picture, because sometimes, like HDR, it's good if you have high contrast. But if it's very flat and you just want to make sure that you have accurate exposure and you use bracketing for that, you can do it at the beginning. Like, I don't use that anymore. Like I said, it's too many pictures. You have to look your manual for metering. I'm always on, with Canon, if I look at my metering, I'm at evaluative metering. That will evaluate most of the scene and give me a good metering. But if I have to do something special, and spot metering, it's good if you want to meter just one little part of your scene. A lot of the time, like if you have portrait by example, some people will do, they will put that on stop metering. They'll get close to the person that they want to take picture of. They'll meter directly on their face with the spot metering, or directly on the eyes, like with the spot metering. And they'll keep that metering numbers, like your f-stop, your shutter speed, and your ISO. If you do it manual, you don't have to change it. You take your meter, everything is okay. You go back, you recompose the scene, you take the shot, and you can be sure that the person is on perfect exposure. Doesn't mean that the surrounding is the perfect exposure, but it means that the person is on perfect exposure. That's all for the spot metering and evaluative metering. I don't use the other one. You can look at your book, you can try it if you want. For me, that's the 2 I use the most. You have the center weight metering that goes directly in the center of your frame, but because I never put subject in the middle, I don't use that one. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the evaluative metering and with the spot metering. And that will be concluding this week. That was a short one. Next week, we'll speak about tripod and monopod and few other gadgets that goes with that. Just, you know, I'll have gadget with the time. I don't have all the gadget. When I get one, you'll know about it and I'll speak about it. But till then, keep shooting, have fun. Enjoy your day and ciao ciao.
¡Eso, Diane!